You let your emotions control you. Your emotions are like another entity which are leeching onto you as you behave and make your decisions. In everything you do, you're influenced by your emotions and you let them control what you do. You need to learn to be detached from your emotions and get rid of the leech that's latching onto you and affecting your everyday life. The way I view things is that there's multiple people sitting at this kind of council which decides how you behave. So you've got emotions sitting here, logic sitting here, and maybe a few others, and they're all coming together to decide and vote together what you do. So essentially your emotions will tell you one thing and maybe your logic will tell you another thing. So that means you've got a clash of decisions and you've got to decide which one to listen to. Of course, you're still listening to the emotion guy, but you're just factoring him when making a decision instead of only listening to him. When everyone hears, oh, detach from your emotions or don't listen to your emotions, they think you're going to be a psychopath or not have empathy or something, but it's the complete opposite. It means instead of shouting at your mum, you work together and fix the problem. It means instead of being anxious and getting worried, you calm down because you realize that there's nothing actually to be worried about. It means instead of getting jealous, you take a step back and realize the consequences of your actions. You need to be able to work together with these emotions, with the logic, and use these indicators to form the best decision that you can. Instead of just listening to the anger when it rises up out of nowhere and you're getting angry at your mum because she did something wrong, you can hear a little voice in the back of your head saying, okay, well, she had reasoning for doing this. Maybe it's a bit annoying, but at the same time, I can see why she did it. So let's work together to fix the problem and avoid it for next time. I'd say that almost all the time, whenever your response is emotional, it's gonna be bad. Now that is quite a generalization and there's probably things I'm not thinking about which, yeah, emotion would be better, but it's just a general rule. And again, if you just listen to your logical side, then you would be less empathetic. You wouldn't be able to understand these emotional responses and cues from other people. So it's about a balance and listening to both. I guess maybe what I mean is that the emotions that arise out of nowhere, those decisions you make when you're listening to that part of the emotion are going to be bad. It's when you stub your toe and then you go and shout at your family just because you're irritated by the stubbing of your toe. It's when you get too excited and too confident and then you start bragging to people and they just get annoyed. A lot of these times it's hard to see through the cloud of emotion that there is because it's like this guy at the council is much louder voice than the other logic guy. I hope that analogy makes sense, but at different times the different voices will have different strengths. So oftentimes, say at the end of the day, you're going to be tired, you're going to be more emotional and you want to go to bed. So you're going to make worse decisions and let's say, you know, watch a movie or something. Whereas when you wake up, you've got a fresh mind, you're ready to attack the day. Your logical guy, you know, he's ready to take action. So the point is you just have to be aware of each individual voice. Most people don't even acknowledge that emotions are just feelings. And actually, yeah, you know what, everyone knows that emotions are feelings, but they don't realize that you can separate yourself from the feelings and just take a step back and look at it. Of course, sometimes emotions are too overpowering, but the point is that it's a skill and you can become better at controlling your emotions. So what I'm constantly trying to do and what you need to start doing is practice. As soon as there comes a situation when you feel a massive spike in emotion, just try and take a step back, even though it might be hard. Just hear my words in your head or whatever. Feel it, acknowledge it, and actually realize that it's something that you have control over. You know, you're feeling really angry, and then you take a deep breath and you realize, oh yeah, look, I'm feeling angry, okay, but what's the point of me going and acting on it? I can actually just wait a second or write down how I'm feeling instead. And know that just because you're feeling angry, that doesn't mean you have to do or think or behave in any kind of certain way. Funnily enough, it is just a feeling. Like it's just something that's going on in your body and you actually don't have to do anything with it. It can just kind of be there and sit there. And when you start to think about it like that, you start to make such better decisions and you start to, you know, when you act emotionally and you regret it because you're like, oh, why did I say that? Why did I do that? Or you start to have that less. So detach yourself from your emotions. And of course, as you know now, that doesn't mean be without empathy and without any emotion at all. It just means separating yourself and having control and listening to the logic and emotion parts of your voice. As well as practicing controlling your emotions, you can also click the first link in the description below. Just a quick little Google form, it'll take you like 30 seconds to fill out, and honestly, it just gives me video ideas which I can make tailored to your problems. So I hope you enjoy this video. See you in the next one.